check this out. I gotta show you this movie. But you gotta promise you're not gonna tell anybody, because this is top secret. Okay, so I found this DVD 3-pack. Now, I've already reviewed The Naked Gun, not on DVD, but on VHS. And while I haven't reviewed Airplane yet, I did do the sequel. But then there's a third movie on here, sandwiched right in the middle between those two, Top Secret. Now, this is probably the least popular of the three. It's definitely not the worst of the three. I prefer this over The Naked Gun. Pretty much the same impact to me as Airplane, because it's just as goofy and there's the jokes just come out of nowhere and lots of crazy fun happening in this movie. Movie stars Val Kilmer as Nick Rivers, an American pop star that gets caught up in this like East German espionage case back when East Germany was a thing. It's not really clear what the time scale of this is, like what year this is supposed to be, because there's like, I don't know, he's a rock and roll musician, but there's also like almost like Nazis in it, and I don't know, he's kind of, I guess he's supposed to be like Elvis or something like that, because he's like so popular, and kind of almost like World War II scenarios going on here with the resistance, and as I said, East Germany is a thing, and there's like submarines in the Strait of Gibraltar or something, and it's like, okay, whatever. So it's all mixed up and jumbled up, and it makes very little sense. As I said, you get your little espionage case, and he unwittingly becomes a secret agent. This movie, to me, is brilliantly stupid. Stupid for the sake of a bunch of stupid jokes, right? It's all really dumb stuff, and a lot of stuff is even happening in the background, and you have to watch this multiple times to catch all the jokes. Altogether, it really works. There's some really goofy things that happen in this that are like, oh my god, you want us to laugh at that? But you do. Like, Omar Sharif is in the beginning of the movie. He's like this spy. I think he's supposed to be French. He gets like crushed into a car or whatever, but somehow survives, and he escapes, and he's like still trapped in this crushed up little car, and there's a little funny little scene goes along with that. Then there's like, Peter Cushing is in this, just briefly, Grand Moff Tarkin, and they go to this, like, I guess supposed to be like this Swedish bookstore or something like that, and they go there, and he's got like this one giant eye, like he's got a magnifying glass in front of his eye, and you think it's like, okay, his eye looks really big because the magnifying glass is there. No, and then he pulls it away, and he's just got this weird big deformed eye, and they're speaking backwards in the whole scene, and all this like little backwards jokes and stuff, because I guess Swedish sounds like people talking English backwards. Yeah, then there's like the cow disguise scene, which is pretty funny. I won't spoil the jokes on that for you. Actually, I don't want to spoil any of the jokes in here, but it's all pretty funny. I mean, like it's actually a musical. And musicals only really work for me if they're comedies. Recently, I did a review of Popeye, and that was a comedy, and that was a musical, but the juxtaposition was horrible. Whereas in this, I mean, it all blends together, and like you're laughing the whole time that all the music's going on. So, hey, musical, who cares? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that just makes no sense in this movie, so why wouldn't it make sense that, Val Kilmer just bursts into song in the middle of a scene? This is actually Val Kilmer's first big screen appearance. He gets the starring role in this, and I think he does a fantastic job. He's kind of deadpan, he's kind of dramatic, and he plays it really serious. Kind of like, Leslie Nielsen in Airplane, but not like Leslie Nielsen in The Naked Gun. Yeah, and I've always enjoyed Val Kilmer's performances. I really liked him in The Doors as Jim Morrison. I thought he was great in that. I liked him as Mad Mardigan in Willow. I liked him as Batman, even, in Batman Forever. I mean, he wasn't the best part of that movie, but he wasn't terrible. He did a pretty good job, I thought. Also liked him in Tombstone. I believe he played Doc Holliday. Yeah, of course, he was in Top Gun. I didn't like Top Gun. I only saw that movie once, and I'm not going to bother with a sequel. I just don't like Top Gun. Sorry. Then, of course, he was in the infamous Island of Dr. Moreau, and I think around then is when things kind of started to go south for Val Kilmer, which is too bad. You know, he's a very talented actor. I hear, maybe he was going through some troubles and stuff. I haven't seen the documentary about his life. I apologize. Maybe if I ever watch that, I'll talk about it here. But watching Top Secret again, I realized, what a talent this guy actually is. This was his very first movie, and I think it's one of his best performances. Yeah, non-stop jokes in this. I'd say about 90% of them land. There's a few that are like, oh my god, really? But you gotta respect it just for, making those jokes and having the balls to just be complete idiots making this movie. And the dumbest jokes that are just like, oh my god, I can't believe I laughed at that, but I did. It's one of those kind of movies. So when it comes to comedies, I mean, quite often I don't like to go back to watch comedies because, I don't know, I know all the jokes. Well, this one I hadn't seen. I think I'd only seen half of this back in the 80s, maybe on VHS or something like that. And to go back and watch it now, 38 years later, I laughed the whole way through this. This one is worthy of repeat viewings, just like Airplane. Like I said, there might be jokes in the background that you didn't even get the first time. And you watch it again, and there's some little, let's not call them Easter eggs, but some kind of buried background jokes and some overall jokes that it might not make sense at first, but then you go back and watch it and you're more familiar with the story and the characters, and it's like, oh, yeah, this is an LOL kind of movie. I think this is one of my new favorite comedies, at least from the 80s. Yeah, this is right up there with Airplane. So I'm going to go ahead and give Top Secret an A. Solid A. I laughed my ass off at this movie, and I think you would too. There might be some stuff that might be a little bit offensive to some people. I don't think it's too bad compared to a lot of 80s movies. It was made in a different time, but it also takes place in a different time. Or does it? Who knows, man? But it's funny as fuck, so you should really watch Top Secret. And until next time, folks, have a good one out there.